Hey, what's up? I wanted to do a quick tutorial on some sound design stuff in Alchemy, which is a synth that comes with Logic Pro. So yeah, let's just get into it. I'm gonna get that shit ready. So, I was messing with Alchemy a lot tonight, and I was doing some fun shit. I already have some stuff loaded up. I made these, like, weird glitchy, like, scanner sounds or whatever. Like sci-fi-esque sounds or whatever, like computer noises, like bleepity bloops. And let me just show off some of the other sounds I made. I made these using Lego Yoda death sound. Okay, well, let's get into that shit. So I just opened up a new instrument track and open up Alchemy. You go into Alchemy, go to File, initialize preset. So basically it just like resets every parameter and stuff, gives you 4 saws, but we don't want those. I'm gonna bring in these sounds I made the other day where I got Jar Jar's death sound from Lego Star Wars and just did some like processing to it and stretching. So okay, it really doesn't matter what it is. I'll just bring in Jar Jar Stretch 1. So you bring it in here, and I'll bring it into Spectral, because that's the one I'll start with. Spectral is really good for getting all the glitchy sounds. Cool, we're in Spectral, so you can go back and forth between pitch and noise. I'm just gonna play on the keyboard to like show you what it sounds like. So that's in pitch mode. That's in noise mode. The pitch one, for a lot of samples, it can make it a little bit more chaotic and like, as you can see, there's a lot more like detail in there. That's like more simple shit. So I don't know, just choose whatever you think sounds good. And then over here, this is where all like the fun manipulations and stuff happen. So I just go through these, mess with parameters. I usually turn up the mix knob all the way. Just see what happens. So there's a couple different ways to go about like messing around with these parameters and stuff. One way is you could add a modulation. So if you right click on a knob, add a modulation. You can use like a sine wave or something to change a parameter. But honestly, like for this type of thing, I'm gonna be chopping up all the samples that I get. So what I'm actually probably gonna do is just adjust the parameters on the fly while I'm recording notes and stuff, and just kind of go from there. So I'm gonna add in another little manipulator or whatever. Let's see. Frequency stretch is a good one. I like that one. So I got cloud and then frequency stretch. I do kind of like the way that sounds though. So what I'm gonna do is leave the Alchemy window open, turn on latch automation writing or whatever, and then just press R to record, and every parameter I change is gonna get written as automation. So whenever I bounce it out later, it'll all be good. Okay, so I pressed R to record, and I'm just gonna play in random notes and adjust these parameters. Okay, so this one wasn't the best result I've gotten so far, but it was alright. Since all the automation was written in, I'm just going to bounce in place using Control B. And I'll just name it Jar Jar, because it's a Jar Jar sample. Okay, so we got Jar Jar. I'm gonna go ahead and turn up the gain a bit. And basically I'm just gonna chop out the parts I like, or I'm just gonna chop up all of them, but you can just get rid of the ones you don't like. I'm gonna use Control. My cat's meowing at me. I'm gonna use Control X to open up this window. This will basically just chop up the samples for you. I just change some of these parameters so I get a little smoother chops going on. So just do that. And then from there, I'll just kind of expand those. I'm gonna press Command plus to make the waveforms bigger. And I'll just combine that one. So I'll just speed up all this shit and then show you the final result. Okay, so I got all those chopped up. Okay, so there's some fun sounds in here. Do some more gain. Just kind of normalize the levels a bit. And then I'm just gonna do this to write the gain that I just did. I'm gonna do a quick Alt-Shift-P. I'm gonna open up the selection-based processing and then just apply with nothing on it, just to kind of, you know, it basically writes the gain I just did on there. So there you go. Now you got all these beautiful fucking samples. Before you start exporting samples, Shift N to rename. So I'm just gonna name it Jar Jar _1, and then I'll just copy and paste that so I can go through and edit all the other ones. There we go. Now we got all those samples. Right click, and then under export, there's gonna be the option to export as audio files. So then you go to wherever your samples folder is. I made a specific folder called glitches. So there we go. And you just export them. So now if you ever go over to your sample collection, now you got these beautiful samples you can listen to. And just bring those in anytime you want to for a project. And yeah, that's pretty cool. I'd go back to your instrument track with Alchemy loaded on it, and then I would save that patch that you made in Alchemy as just whatever you called the sample library thing. So I'll just call it Jar Jar under my glitches folder. Jar Jar, yay. So now I have a bunch of different like patches, so later on I can always go back to these and mess around with them more and stuff. But that's mostly it. Hopefully that did a good job of explaining how you can use the Spectral editor to make some glitchy sounds. And what I might do real quick is show how you can get similar results using the Granular editor, and then maybe the two combined. What could I bring in? I have this weird file. Let me bring that in as Granular. Granular takes a little bit more effort to do. I'm just gonna adjust some settings and start playing on the keyboard a little bit. So for this one, I'm gonna set an LFO to the position so that it shifts around randomly. So I'll just change it to some weird pattern or something. So I kind of like that sound. I'm gonna go in here and adjust the amp ADSR so that it fades out a little bit longer after I let go. I'm gonna add a little fade in as well. And then just a layer, I'm gonna also add in the same sample, but as Spectral again, and then do all the same Spectral shit I did before. And then for a bonus, you can add in some effects over here, like a delay and reverb or something. I don't know. And I'm gonna do the same thing where I set the automation mode to latch and just record. I thought that was pretty cool. And for this one, I wouldn't even know how I would go about editing this sample. Could just export the whole thing or whatever, but hopefully that did a good job of explaining all the fun you can have by just importing random samples. I mean, the first sample I used for that scanner sound I showed was this. But you could use like pretty much anything like that. I don't know what this is. I don't know, you could use that too. Yeah, just have fun with it and stuff, and I'd like to just upload all the different samples I made already onto my Gumroad page. I don't know if they're like, the files are too big, so actually, here's me from the future telling you that I was able to upload all of the samples for free. I just had to split them into 2 separate parts. There'll be a link in the description or something. Otherwise, thank you for watching my dumb video and have fun doing this sound design, whatever the hell stuff.